Hey guys, what's up? I'm actually making a long ranting video, and forgive me for the jittery, very unclear video quality. I'm actually using my laptop's webcam. I'm really frustrated right now, guys. Of all the things that we have complained about in the past, I think this week we have probably seen one of the dumbest things to fight about ever in the history that I've been vaping and what I've seen. Um, in the past, we've complained about vape meets, where they're at, um, who's going to be there, where is it going to be at, when it is. Complain about all the dumbest little things. Um, Complain about, okay, well, this guy works at a vape shop that sells cigarettes, or this guy works at a vape shop and still smokes, and this guy does these people do that, da 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 da, and none of this really matters, you know. But regardless of all the dumb things I've seen people yell about, this one certainly takes the cake, in my opinion. It's been going on for like 3 days now, or at least it feels like it's been going on for a month. Yeah, it's just retarded. It's absolutely plumb retarded. So, to kind of give you a hint, let's look at this box right here. This is a very familiar box. Most of us own one. If we don't own one, we know somebody who has. It's this lovely little Vaults box. It's got a little key combination on the front there. Opens up. And of course, my screen resolution is horrible. But as you can see in there, it's got the little loops, your Velcro baggie, and there's actually a little mesh pouch in here. Naturally, the video quality sucks, so you can't really tell. How many of you use this as a vape case? How many people you know somebody who uses this as a vape case? Actually, there's a video of somebody using one of these for a mod, believe it or not. This case you can get at Walmart for about $7-8. You know what department you get it out of? Not the vaping department, because Walmart doesn't have a vaping department. This box is found in the diabetes department. Those little elastic loops, they're for insulin. They're for diabetics. The little zipper pouch that Velcros off, that is for strips from when you test your blood sugar. The little mesh pouch is where you tuck in your actual diabetes blood sugar check meter. And of course your other storage is for your syringes and other things that you may stick in there. Different diabetics hold different things. You might stick a bottle of juice, maybe some candy bar or something like that, depending on how vicious your diabetes may be. Okay? So, since vapors are using this to carry all their gear in, whether it be their addies, their juice, building materials, whatever, because you're using that, you've just reappropriated it. Okay? So, we as vapors reappropriate things to use for what we do. Another good example. This Hammond box. It's used in guitar effects pedals. It's used in custom junction boxes. This box was not designed to make box mods out of. It's just what we use. It's a box. It's a metal box. It's a metal enclosure to be able to do things with. Let's go deeper. The world famous VTC4. Okay. Like most 18650 batteries, these are actually designed for flashlights. 18650 batteries, 18350 batteries, most of the batteries that vapors use were not designed for vaping. I mean, over time, yes, things have been redeveloped. Actually, I'm sure the VTC4 may even be one of those. The point still remains. These batteries were originally put for flashlights, electric cars, laptops. They're not designed specifically for vaping. Nothing that vapors have, probably aside from maybe the 510 connector, which I think is actually for flashlight bulbs, the atomizers. They're the only things that are machined and made specifically for vaping. The candle you use, that's using thermostats. Nothing is specific for vaping because vaping was reappropriated from other things. Somebody was trying to find an alternative to smoking. We need to remember where vaping came from, what vaping's purpose is. It's not a cessation tool. It can be used as one, but vaping is an alternative to smoking. So, since we reappropriate things all the time, why, in God's name, is this bag a huge freaking deal? Okay? Let's look at this. It's a picture of a coin. A coin. Okay? And if you want to go into more detail, look, it's Velcro. Boom! It's gone! It's a bag. Okay? It's a pouch. It's about the size of a woman's clutch. Okay? This little bag is actually pretty nifty. Probably going to end up with a different one. Long story. You got your little pouch in the front. Just tuck your juice bottles in it or whatever. It's actually got a nice little zipper on it. Boom. Look at that. Let's look at what's inside here. Wow. Super huge cushy padding in there. I've got a Nautilus Mini stuck off in there. Right beside it, my scissors. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to bust it. It's got huge cushions in there. Wire snips. This is probably the coolest feature, though, in my personal opinion. You have a liquid resistant bag. I've got 8 atomizers in here. It seals up tighter than a Ziploc baggie, and it doesn't spill juice and get all your gummy feeling all over the rest of your junk that's in your bag. Probably the best feature out of the entire thing. Okay, well, we keep going. We've got more. And this tiny little thing. That's probably 30-40% smaller than this thing. Not to mention it's soft. This will fit in my laptop case a whole lot better. I've got picks for when I'm doing my coil building. I've got all my little things that I wrap coils around. Tweezers for pinching them. Screwdrivers for doing my micros. 1/8 inch. Super retard bigot things. I've got my little bag that's got my 7/64 drill bits, my little collection of blue screwdrivers, actually a small portion of that collection, Allen screws. Inside this, of course you can't see naturally. Yes, it has the logo, okay? It has that little logo, okay? It's got another little zipper pocket in here. We keep going. We find more. The rebuild deck for using the E-grip RBA base, my screwdriver, alignment tool. I've got an assortment of drip tips in here. This almost makes me actually want to go out and buy a webcam. Okay, all that stuff is stuffed in this little bitty tiny bag. And look at this, completely empty. It's that thick because it's all padding. Which means if you put your glass tanks in here, if you put something in here that, you know, normally you might give a beating to, cool. Put it all in there. Zip it up. Throw it against the wall. Your glass is not going to be busted. Okay? People that brought these into the vaping community brought them in to be reappropriated to be used for vape gear. You can put all your vape crap in here, okay? Doesn't mean you're a freaking stoner. Doesn't mean it's marijuana paraphernalia. You know, this is probably the dumbest accusation I have ever seen. Okay? I mean, somebody said it, and I have to give them credit, but I don't know who said it. I don't remember. I don't really care. Okay? Dimebag Darrell. How many people in this group listen to Dimebag Darrell? Or have listened to him in the past? Do you stop listening to him because you're some sort of prude that doesn't like mention of such things? Okay? Do you not spend dimes, quarters, and nickels? Because on the street they have some form of reference towards weed? Hey man, let me get a quarter. Oh, no, sorry, I don't do that. That's related to weed. It's U.S. currency, for God's sake. That's how stupid you're being about this. Okay? Now, that said, I did mention earlier there are problems with both sides of the fence on this issue. Okay? These are called dime bags. And if you look on the fun little cards that come with them, of course, they give you another little Velcro patch that actually says dime bag on it. So even if you're a prude, you can have it where it doesn't say dime bag. They've got their website and their sticker and all that. Now, they do offer other little stickers in there. You got a skull, a little Zen circle. I'm sure there's more available on the website. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Fact remains, okay? Yes, these were originally designed for idiots to keep their glassware in, for stoners to use their glassware in. But honestly, where I come from, you know what stoners use to put all their weed shit in? The cellophane of a cigarette pack. Does this mean that we're going to go to Big Tobacco and demand that they stop putting cellophane on cigarette packs because it supports marijuana use? No. Because at that rate, you might as well tell people to stop wearing socks. For all those guys that put rock in their sock. Or whatever. You know, this is how ignorant this is. It's a freaking bag. It's a carrying case. Okay? Should the marketing be changed a little bit and maybe reappropriated for vaping? Sure. But it's a nifty little idea. This has turned into a mudslinging battle. This has turned into people trying to say that this has got some sort of weed advocacy. Okay? Here's the big problem. Here's the huge issue here. Like, it's the elephant in the room that nobody's messing with. Okay? You want to cry because this has something to do with weed. Okay? It's only got something to do with weed if you smoke weed. Okay? If I get pulled over with this bag in my car, I'm not going to jail. Why? Because it doesn't have any fucking weed in it. I don't smoke weed. I haven't touched the crap since like a decade or more. Okay? Yeah, we were all dumb kids. Some of us did dumber things than others. I did dumber things. Just saying. You know, I mean, really, who freaking cares? It's a bag. It's a carrying case that you can use to put your vape gear in if you so choose. If you don't, and you really think it's that big of an issue, don't buy one. If you're not some sort of incredibly stubborn moron that really doesn't care because it's a non-issue, sure, go out and get one. Don't go out and get one. Use whatever you want. Go back to your diabetics case. Go Harbor Freight and pick you up a freaking toolbox. Go to Target and get you a freaking fisherman's case or something. You know? Whatever you get, it's not going to be vape related unless you actually get one of the vaping bags. And I'm sure there are people that own the vaping bags that probably use it for other things too. Okay? I mean, let's be honest here. You got stoners who vape. They're in this group. They know who they are. You got vapors who used to go down that happy little trail. Okay? So what? Do we shun them? No. They vape. Okay? This is a vapors group. This is not a Republicans group. This is not a Libertarians group. This is not a Democrats group. This is not a Westboro Baptist Church Memphis recruitment center. Okay? Because honestly, the level of trolling that some of y'all are doing, you could probably qualify to join the WBC. That's how stupid this crap is. I mean, let's be real here. My first rant was a lot worse. A simple thing was said and it got blown way out of proportion. Okay? Honestly, this particular shop that's carrying them isn't the one I always go to. It's a shop that I go to. I go to a lot of shops. Everybody in town goes to a lot of different shops. I mean, how many shops do we have? You know, they're just trying to come up with something different to try and help vapors out. Hey, I think if you carry around anything that's got glass in it, or you just need something that's kind of soft to carry your gear in, you might not want to get it torn up. You have some nice authentics you want to stick in there. Maybe you just want another laptop case. Maybe you want a cool looking little backpack. Here's an option for you. While you're in here buying some juice, you're looking for another addy. Here's a bag. Why not? Okay. We've got vape shops that sell, I would say frisbees, but I know that's the wrong word. Discs, for disc golf or whatever. We've got vape shops that sell cigars. We've got vape shops that sell hookah accessories. Okay. We've got vape shops that sell all kind of dumb crap. Do we say don't go to these guys because they're carrying something that's not vape related? What kind of prudes are we to justify how vape shops make their money? The only thing that I might even bitch about would be a vape shop that sold tobacco products as well. There is a niche for that. Okay? Guy comes in to buy a pack of smokes. Okay? What's stopping the guy at the counter or a vapor walking through the door and saying, hey man, that's cool over there on that side of the store. I used to do that too. But this stuff smells better and I'm not dying as quickly as you are. Right? That's like a great opportunity there. For all you vape evangelists out there who want to try and shove a mod down every smoker's throat, that's your shop to go to. That's your option. It's shit like that is why vapors are turning on each other. And while you're sitting here and you're doing all this dumb crap, okay, you're completely missing the bigger picture. You're missing what's actually important to vapors. Okay? Why don't you spend that time that you're wasting mudslinging other shops or trying to say that, well, this person's attacking me because they work for this shop, or this person's overreacting, or this person's carrying drug paraphernalia now, or this shop shouldn't be allowed to be open because they do certain things, or you know the crap that gets said. I don't have to sit here and try and shoot it off. Half that stuff I was just shooting off the fly. I don't even know if any of it's actually been said. The point is, this is the crap that's going to get freaking swept under the rug, and it's not going to matter. And then next year, or whenever this stuff finally drops, and all of a sudden all these FDA regulations kick us in the dick, and we're going to be like, oh, where'd that come from? Oh yeah, while you were bitching about somebody carrying something that really doesn't matter, or while you were trying to have a fight about, well, why can't I vape under 0.2 on the Memphis Vapors group and post about it, or why is it such a big deal to be using 15 amp batteries when they don't hold the power to be able to vape my 0.1 build? While you're bitching about all that, yeah, that's when the FDA went through and said, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to tax you just like we do tobacco. As a matter of fact, everything that's not made by big tobacco, we're just going to go ahead and outlaw that. So all your little tube mods, your box mods, things like that, basically if it's not a Cigalite, and it's not made by Philip Morris or Newport or any of these other big tobacco companies that are already established and are already paying us taxes, if you're not them, you just got to go away or pay a really, really hefty fine. Or we're gonna tax you and fee you to death, and then make you go through ridiculous amounts of processing and lab fees and applications and all this other crap. This is what they're doing. Okay, this is what's really happening right now. While you're bitching because somebody has something that might be misconstrued. If you're a freaking prude, you might misconstrue that. And honestly, I wish you had a badge, and I wish you tried to pull me over, and I wish you tried to accuse me of having some sort of drug paraphernalia because I have a bag that says dime on it. I would love that very much, because I'd give you a reason to put me in jail, but I wouldn't have jack shit to do with my little bag, I assure you that. We need to be focusing on what our congressmen are doing about vaping. We need to be focusing on what actual laws are being passed and what we can do about it to protect our right to vape. Okay? Don't worry about weed. Nobody gives a shit about weed. Okay? Okay, if you support it, if you smoke it, if you don't smoke it and you still think it's a cool idea, fine. That's your decision. If you don't, fine. That's your decision. America, free country, ring a bell? I mean, quite frankly, weed's ahead of the game anyway versus vaping, when you think about it. I mean, this is a very sad fact. Weed's being legalized right now. Okay? You can go to Colorado and smoke weed. You can go to Washington and smoke weed. You can go wherever, Timbuktu, the middle of nowhere, and smoke weed. It's being legalized, bit by bit by bit. Okay? They're winning their battle. They're making progress. These half-wit, brainless stoners that get baked brainless, have really, really red eyes, and can barely see out of their freaking car windows, and are on their way to Taco Bell at 3 o'clock in the morning because they got the freaking munchies because their metabolisms are going ape shit because they just smoked half a bowl. Yeah, they're getting theirs. They're well on their way. People like us who are trying to better ourselves and are vaping as either a replacement for smoking or using it in a way to get away from smoking, we're behind the 8 ball still. We're still trying to fight what regulations are going to be dropped in our laps. Okay? Instead of worrying about what's going on with the other guy, we need to be focusing on what's right in front of us. I mean, come on, guys. We're right on the middle of something huge. I love what I do. I like building box mods. I like vaping. I like tinkering with things. I like building coils. I like dripping. I like making ginormous clouds and pissing people off. I like making giant clouds and getting people curious about vaping. I like making small clouds and people being like, hey dude, what's that flavor you got? You know, I think I've told more people about Kingslayer in the past 3 weeks than I probably have ever told anything about anybody about anything when it regards vaping. You know, and this is what we should be doing. You know, you go out in the public, you set an example. You have this thing and you vape it and you enjoy it and you don't have a need to smoke a cigarette and smell like a walking ashtray. You're not dying of lung cancer. You're doing something with your life. You're actually making a difference, even if it's only with yourself. Although really and truly, if you're not smoking a cigarette, you're not hurting people around you either. You know, the whole secondhand smoke, secondhand vapor doesn't do shit to you. No, firsthand vapor doesn't do shit to you. That's the whole purpose of vaping. But instead, y'all walking around with a stick up your ass about something that doesn't even matter. Okay? I mean, how many shops do you walk into and you hear, oh yeah, you know, you can go over to this shop and you can get it cheaper, or man, can you believe that shop would do that? You know, they're right down the road and they're trying to price gouge us because they know what we're charging, and and we sent so and so into such and such shop, and then, you know, this 16-year-old kid came in here, so we told him to go over to this other shop because we know they'll sell to them and they're not doing things, which is horseshit, by the way. Nobody sells to anybody under 18. There's not even an official law about it, and we still won't do it. And if you do, quite frankly, don't let me find out about it, because I'll personally cock punch you. It's the point. We should show etiquette, okay? There's no law that says you can't vape inside a restaurant. Does that mean you cloud chase after your steak dinner and you fog out half the restaurant? No. But that's a whole different rant. The point is, we need to be worrying about what vaping's got going on. We need to be worrying about vaping. Not worrying about dumb crap that's not going to matter in 2 years. It's not going to matter next week. I mean, let's just be real here. We got bigger fish to fry than worrying about a stupid freaking bag and what name it is. Because if this bag had any other name to it, hell, we could call it a VAG. V-A-G. But I mean, really, you can call it any name in the book. I mean, quite frankly, I was actually speaking with the shop owner that sells these particular bags that everybody was wanting to throw under the bus, just because, oh look, somebody's getting trolled. Let's grab the fires and pitchforks. You know, I was actually talking to him the other day, and he's like, yeah, we know it's kind of an issue. We're going to see about doing something different. They may end up actually just putting their logo on those patches. Okay? So it goes from dime bag to shop bag. Goes to your mom's bag. It goes to mouse bag. You can call it whatever the heck you want to call it. It's a bag. It's a storage container. Can we get past this and move on to bigger and better things? Good night, MVG. Let's pull the stick out of our ass, please.